it's a little bit better now. I've done all that I can, so please let me know if it's not okay. Okay, so I am going to start with the simple coloring stencils. Okay, so we have stencil number 1 here, and this is going to allow you to add the first layer of your images. So I'm just going to pop that into place. I do normally line up this top flower here first because it's a really different kind of shape, so it does help with everything being put in place. Okay, that looks better. Thank you, everyone. I'm glad that the little tweak that I did help a little bit. All right, okay. So, like I said, we're going to create some kind of like these are the colors that I have that I'm going to use for the flowers. So I'm going to go Mango Smoothie, Peach Perfect, Pink Pearl, Cotton Candy, Deep Iris, Arctic Mountain. I'm not sure if I'll get to the Dark Night, but we'll see how far we're going to go. And that's the kind of look that I want going down. So I'm going to start with my lightest, which is the Mango Smoothie. Okay. And I'm just going to use some a mix of mini blending tools. Okay, so I need to make sure that that's nicely placed around that. And I'm trying to kind of work out that everything's about an inch, right? So an inch of this color, an inch of another, kind of like that. So I've gone with my Mango Smoothie right on the top there. Okay, trying to keep it in place. Then we're going in with Peach Perfect. No, Sue, you won't need to share again. Thank you, my sweet. We should be good. So this is the Peach Perfect. I'm sorry, Han. She's going to be trying to get all of these colors now on the links. I'm sorry. I could have just stuck to one color family. I'm sorry, but I didn't. So that's the Peach Perfect. It's a color that I don't typically go for very often. So, you know, maybe everyone needs to grab out a color that they don't necessarily use and use it today. Oops. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. That's what I was saying. I was like, need to sort things out. Everything's going to be fine. Okay, and then we've got the Pink Pearl. I should have switched out my blending tool, but it's okay. Ooh. That's very close to the Peach Perfect, but it's okay. Now I'm going to go with the pink, so Cotton Candy. Thank you again for sharing, everyone that has done. And thank you for coming back. It does mean a great deal that you'll come back as well. So this one is the Cotton Candy. Again, not a color that I normally go for. The Peach Perfect, the Mango Smoothie, and the Cotton Candy are actually in a set which is called 4 Scoops, and it's one that I don't really use, so I'm glad that I fished it out for today. Okay, I'm thinking I am going to go with that Dark Night, so I'm going to work with the Dark Night that way. Now I may need to put like another pinky color in there, not sure. Okay, ooh, okay, that's very pretty. I love a good navy. I was going to leave it, but I was like, no, let's put some more down. And then the Arctic Mountain. Ooh, beautiful. I'm using a mini for these ones because I didn't have a really dark blue one in my small. So don't think that you necessarily need all of the colors in, oops, in one kind of blending tool. You can mix and match your blending tools. Okay, so there we go. And then we have this little flower too. I believe he goes there. Okay. So I'm going to go in with the pink and then the purple because we're missing that purple color at the minute. Okay. So cotton candy again. Deep iris. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Okay. I'm not going to worry about getting my blending perfect because there's such kind of small areas. I don't think I'm going to worry that much. All right. Okay. So I now have stencil number 2. I love the etching that we've got the numbers in there. And we're just going to place that around so we can get the other flowers in. And again, I'm trying to use them same colors that I've just been using. So I think I'm going to need some, I'm going to add a bit of that yellow right on the top. So that one's the mango smoothie. It's just whatever was left on there. And some peach. No, I'm going to go straight into the pink pearl. Thanks, Sue. I'm wondering myself what's this actually going to turn out like. But you know what? I think it's going to be cool. It's kind of a take on the rainbow stenciling, which has become really popular. I wanted to do something a little bit different than that. Okay, so cotton candy. Which blue? So we had Dark Night down here and then Arctic Mountain. Okay. I'll go through them again because we do have some more blues down there. Okay. So I want some purple, which was the Deep Iris. And then the Arctic Mountain that we have. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, that's the Arctic Mountain down there. I'm thinking, I don't know if I should, but I may do some silver splatter later through the stencil because that'll look like stars, right? So we'll try that in a sec. Okay, so you can see we've got this, I don't know, I may have gone a little bit too dark down here, but I'm loving the kind of this bit. Maybe I can cover this bit later, but hey, you know, we try things out. We may not like it, but you know, we should always give it a go. So I'm going to pop this into place. Again, lining up this flower first because I find that because it's such a unique shape, it's easier to do. So I'm going to have some slightly darker colors now. So I have chamomile, which I'm using as the darker shade of my mango smoothie. May have been able to go a little bit darker than that as well. I have some rouge here, which I'm going to use as my darker shade over the peach and also the pink pearl. I should have got my Coral Bliss, but I didn't. So hindsight is a wonderful thing. We all know this. Okay, I'm going to go fuchsia over the cotton candy. Remember, this will be saved. So if you did want to grab these colors again, you can watch the replay and you'll know exactly what colors they are, because the lovely Han will pop in all of the links as well. So that's the fuchsia through that. Pop that down, and you'll need a darker purple. Do have some ultraviolet. I believe that will work. Han, can you just remove the spam that we're getting, please? Okay, so that's the ultraviolet. I'm going to add that over here because that dark color that we had, I don't really have a dark color to go over it. May use maybe some gray. Gray always kind of makes things darker, so I'm going to give that a go. Or you could try and add another layer, that really dark one too. Oh, we do have a really, really dark blue in the jewel tones, but I don't have that out on my desk, so I'm not going to be able to use that one. Okay, but yay, look! That's looking pretty cool. And then we just have this second layer for this one here. I'm sorry if I do get my silver highlights in, but I just need to see where I'm going with that one. Okay. I'm going to go the rouge again. Oops. I may have a touch of fuchsia just on that bottom edge. Thank you, Han. Thank you so, so much. I don't know why people think that we want to see that when we're just crafting. All right. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of that chamomile as well. Thank you, Gina. Yeah, we're trying to do a little bit of a kind of a sunset garden here. I think it's looking really pretty. I do want to add some sparkles through there, I think, maybe later on. Okay, we do have some more layers, but they're leaves. Okay, now, should I go in with the greens or should I go in with gray? Please let me know your thoughts on this, because I'm on the fence. So I have some gorgeous greens here for the green meadow greens, or I have the grays, and I think I'm leaning towards the grays a little bit, but you know, I'm gonna let you guys choose because I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go green. Okay, sorry, Sue. We have 2 greens before Sue, but hey, we're gonna go green. Okay. I'm sure it's gonna look fab anyway. Okay, hopefully this goes in. All right, so I'm gonna go in there. I mean, obviously the green will make it look brighter and fresher. The gray would have toned it down a bit more. Okay, I'm gonna go with the green grass field, sorry. Did you see Aaron's card? Or is it one that's coming up? I don't know if I want to give her away, so I'm not going to do what Aaron does, but she has got a fabulous card coming up in the next release. Oh, it is stunning. Okay. That's the green. Oh, okay. The green looks really pretty. Okay, it's fine. I was like, I should have gone grey, but now I'm really liking the green. It makes it look like proper flowers, even though they're not proper flowers. Just lining you up. There we go. And we're going to need a darker green. I'm going to miss the Shadow Creek and I'm going to go straight into the Mountain Pine. Okay. Okay. Oh, it looks so pretty. I am loving these colors. Okay, so I think I will add some splatter, but I do want to kind of do something else too. So I'm just going to try and move them over. And I want to create that kind of the same look, but with watercolors. All right, so I've done the same image, but with some watercolor cardstock this time. Just move those over. Thank you, Sherry. Like some water. I have a little rest for my brush. Just going to do this pretty quickly. I'm going to move this out of the way because I know that I'm going to get it wrong, but oh, I am loving those colors. I think I may kind of go over that a little bit. I think that's a little bit of a too stark a contrast on that one. But oh, other than that, makes me happy. Happy. Where is my paint? Oh, sorry. Okay. I've got ink everywhere. I've literally been sat here for, I don't know, an hour? I mean, I was here a little while before you guys joined me, but... So, I've done that same image from the Craft Your Life Meadow Breeze, and I've just run it through the 3D embossing folder. I am going to be working onto a palette. And I'm just going to wet the back of this. Ooh, maybe I go on the back. I'm going on the back. Okay, so I'm wetting the front. And I'm going to work on the innie. I don't really do this, but it's going to change the look. Okay, flip that over. I'm going to work on the back. Okay, it's going to make it easier to kind of stay within those lines, but I'm not going to worry too much about the lines, okay? So we're going to kind of do those colors that we did before. So I'm going to want some yellowy colors at the top. Remember, just adding some water is going to lighten that. And you can see that I'm going straight into a bit of a messy palette. I'm not worrying about going outside of the lines as yet. Okay. So to make a peach, I'm going to add some orange in and a touch of red. Okay, if you're not sure if it's going to be peach, you can always just try it out somewhere. Cardstock, anyone? I need a little tiny piece of... Oh, there we go. I think it could do a touch more pink. going to say with peach there. I am dropping that colour in as well to give me that darker kind of shading. Tracy, okay, so when I drop the paint, I kind of imagine where we'll have the darkest shadow. So normally that is at the base of a petal. So I kind of always dab it towards the base, and then the water itself will just drag it out. Okay, so I'm going to add some more water down. Oops. I want this to be more pink, so I'm going to go for this color here. I'm just going to use my other palette over here because my other palette is pretty dirty. So this is the red Cosmos, and so the more kind of water we add to that, the pinker it will be. Add that across too. Oh, that's pretty. And this is kind of just doing it by itself. You can see that I'm just kind of slopping it on at the minute. Okay. And we're going to go from pink to purple. So we have this shades of purple here, but I want it to be more of a pinky tone. So I'm just going to add a touch of that pink color that we have. Maybe a little bit too much, but it's all right. We can always add more and play. Just dab, dab, dab. This one is watercolor cardstock. It's quite fun. This is the one from Altenew, the one that's already cut down. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is my favorite one. This one's actually 50%. What's the word? Cotton. So the larger one is 100%. This one's 50%, and it is fabulous. So I'm adding purple in with more blue at this time. Just dabbing that in. And the paint will kind of pick its own nooks and crevices. We have this dark night color here. It's not quite what I want. I want it darker. So I'm going to grab some of the rock collection and add that in. I nearly added brown in, but rock collection, and then we can add that. Oh, that is a beautiful navy color. All right. Okay. So once we have it down, we can see that it's still pretty wet. So I am gonna kind of drop in more of that color right at the base of those petals. And this is thicker. I haven't added as much water to this one. That was that. I'm going to kind of go up the colors, maybe. And I do mix my paints on the paints. Every probably artist is screaming at me because I'm very lazy. I'm sorry. I am quite lazy. Dabbing that in. Pretty orangey. There we go. Look how pretty that is. And I don't know why I whisper because you guys need to hear me, right? Oh, Sherry, I hope everything is okay. Dotting it in. And if you feel that you've put too much water down, too much paint down, you can spray it too. Oh, Susie! We're so glad that you found us and that you're joining us as well. I'm going to add some purple in there to add into these purpley bits. And some more, the darker purple, maybe a touch of that blue in. For here. I'm just going to add that in so I just don't have to mix another one. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's move some things because we're getting messy. Do you want to dry this off a touch? Because I want to kind of experiment a little bit. I shouldn't really say experiment, but yep, that's what I mean. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this off a little bit. Okay, it's not looking so great now, but we're going to get somewhere, so don't worry. Still dripping. I'm just going to move some things over. So I would normally let that dry naturally because obviously when you let it dry naturally, it will dry nice and flat. A little bit more than it has done, but you know, I need to move. Like, let's just get rid of some of that water into my water bowl so I can get rid of that somewhere without getting water everywhere. Okay. Tell me it's not just me that gets so flustered with watercolor. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to dry this off a little bit more so we can experiment. Okay, so as we have watercolored this, I mean, it still looks quite pretty. It's not the look I was going for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and not make a mess. But I have the 3D embossing folder. So when you do watercoloring, what normally happens is when the paper dries, it kind of shrinks a little bit. So the embossing won't be as crisp and clear as it was when you did it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I am going to kind of pop this back in so we can get that embossing again. I'm just lining it up. That little piece does need to go through because it went through the first time. So it does take a little bit of lining up because we don't have as much kind of pressure on there. Okay. So once I'm happy with how that's going to go, I am going to run that through my die cutting machine. Okay. So I am here. I haven't run off. Okay. So here we go. Oh, Barbara. Well, hoping for the best. We hope that it goes fine for you. So you can see that we do have raised edge now. What I want to do is, okay, hopefully this works. Okay, because we've got the debossed edge. So if I kind of go over really lightly with my obsidian, it should catch on those top edges. Remember, you do need to be really, really careful, especially on these bits where there isn't as much raised edges, but you do want to get those details. And I would recommend a pigment for this rather than a dye, because a dye will kind of spread. Pigment just stays on the surface. Okay. And the more time that you take with this, so just be really gentle, just kind of whisper over the top. You can always go over again. You know when you stop breathing because you think, is this going to work? And then you start again because you think, actually, it is working. It's looking fine. The experiment is going well. Okay. But obviously, you can take your time a little bit more. So obviously I'd spend a little bit more time to try and get that background a little bit darker, but I think you're all kind of getting the idea without me getting absolutely disgusting with this black ink. But yeah, hey, I think that we can class that as a win, right? So we did manage to create 2 backgrounds with the sorry, I keep forgetting the name, the Craft Your Life Project Kit Meadow Breeze. So this is the 3D embossing folder that we used. We did use the layering stencils for this one. And then for this one, we just used the embossing folder. We flipped it upside down. You know, you could tell that I wasn't going to do that in the end, but we did use the back side of it, and then the experiment with the black ink did work. So, yay. So, you know, just have a play around with things. You may create some kind of beautiful things that you never thought were actually possible. Okay, I am going to pull you back up now so I can say goodbye. I'm just really happy that it didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to go halfway through. Yeah, it was one of those halfway through things when you think, maybe I should have just stopped when I was ahead. But yeah, Tracy, I didn't know it was going to work. But I thought I had an idea, and I thought, you know, we're all here. If it doesn't work, you guys now know it doesn't work, and you don't have to waste your own paper. So there we go. Thank you everyone for joining us today. It has been a pleasure. I hope that you have taken something from this one, that you want to go and grab out your craft supplies and get creating and create something really beautiful. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for sticking with me when I was blurry. So again, thank you. We'll see you again really, really soon, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye. Oh, thanks, Han.